Céline Dion, the legendary voice of Quebec who captivated the world with songs like My Heart Will Go On, The Power of Love, and Because You Loved Me, is far more than a musical icon. She is a symbol of resilience, unwavering love, and triumph over adversity. From her humble beginnings in a small Canadian town to her status as a global superstar, she built an empire estimated at over $1.4 billion. But today, as her health falters under the weight of a rare illness, troubling questions arise. What will become of this colossal fortune she leaves behind? This inheritance, far from uniting her family, risks tearing it apart, spilling tears not of joy, but of disputes, regrets, and buried secrets. Behind the glory and the billions, Céline Dion's story reveals a human truth. Money, even in abundance, can break the hearts it was meant to protect. Born on March 30, 1968, in Charlemagne, a small town in Quebec, Céline Dion grew up in a modest family of 14 children where music was a constant. Her parents, Edhimer and Therese, ran a bar called Le Vieux Baril, where musical evenings were a family tradition. From her earliest years, Céline stood out with her exceptional voice, capable of shifting from deep lows to crystalline highs with soul-touching emotion. At age 5, she climbed onto a chair to sing for the bar's patrons, and at 12, with help from her mother and brother Jacques, she recorded a demo of Su N'était Chuan Rêve, a song they composed together. That cassette landed in the hands of René-Charles, a seasoned manager of 38. Moved to tears by the young girl's voice, René mortgaged his house to fund her debut album, La Voix du Bon Dieu, released in 1981. At 13, Céline became a local star in Quebec, winning the Felix Award for Breakthrough Artist in 1982 with Tellement J d'Amour. This bold gamble marked the start of a meteoric career. In the 1980s, Céline released a string of French-language albums, Les Chemins de ma Maison in 1983, Melanie in 1984, and others that cemented her as a teen idol in Quebec. She toured the province, filling venues of 500 to 2,000 seats, and learned discipline under René's guidance, voice lessons, dance classes, phonetic English. In 1988, her Eurovision win for Switzerland with Ne partez pas sans moi launched her internationally. She won by a single vote, a tense moment broadcast live to 600 million viewers. The 1990 album Unison, produced by David Foster, marked her entry into the English-speaking market, with hits like Where Does My Heart Beat Now hitting the US top 5. The 1990s were a golden era. In 1993, The Color of My Love exploded with The Power of Love, a cover that hit #1 worldwide and sold 6 million copies. Céline refined her English, transformed her image, Goodbye Gap-Toothed Smile, Hello Hollywood Grin, and conquered America. In 1995, Du, written by Jean-Jacques Goldman, became the best-selling French-language album ever, with over 10 million copies. Songs like Pour que tu m'aimes encore touched entire generations. Then came 1997, My Heart Will Go On, the Titanic soundtrack, sold 18 million singles, won an Oscar for Best Original Song, and made Céline a global legend. At 29, she was at her peak, with Grammys, Juno Awards, and ad deals for Chrysler and Coty. But behind the staggering numbers, her personal life was marked by trials. In 1994, she married René-Charles, her longtime manager, 26 years her senior. Their relationship, professional since 1980, evolved into deep love despite criticism over the age gap and rumors of manipulation. The wedding at Montreal's Notre Dame Basilica was lavish, a gown requiring 1,000 hours of sewing, a Swarovski crystal tiara, 500 guests. Together, they built an empire, global Sony deals, real estate investments, a $30 million villa in Henderson, Nevada, with a private water park, a $20 million Paris apartment on Isle St. Louis, a $10 million Quebec chalet, expanded to $100 million with adjacent land, a perfume line launched in 2002 generating $50 million annually, stakes in tech startups via René's funds, and charitable foundations. After years of costly fertility treatments, over $1 million in IVF, their eldest son René-Charles was born on January 25, 2001, followed by twins Eddie and Nelson on October 23, 2010, named for producer Eddie Marney and Nelson Mandela. The family seemed united, invincible, but in 2013, René was diagnosed with throat cancer. He fought bravely, supported by Céline, who paused her career to care for him in Las Vegas. He passed on January 14, 2016, at 73, leaving his wife a widow at 47 with 3 children to raise and a fortune to manage. René had planned everything: a detailed 2015 will, irrevocable family trusts, $400 million in life insurance, clauses to prevent squandering, assets frozen until 2030, family approval for expenses over $1 million. But René's death exposed cracks. Devastated, Céline had to navigate alone a world where money and fame attract admiration and greed alike. Her extended family, 13 siblings, and her young children became key players in a saga where wealth risks dividing more than uniting. Her Las Vegas residencies, starting with A New Day, at Caesar's Palace in 2003, generated over $680 million in 15 years, a record with 4,000 shows, 3 million attendees, and average tickets at $500. Céline performed 5 nights a week, 90-minute theatrical spectacles with 180 artists, choreographed by Franco Dragone. With over 250 million albums sold worldwide, 50 million in the US alone, she became one of the most successful artists ever, surpassing even Madonna in total sales for a female artist. Perpetual royalties from hits like My Heart Will Go On still bring in $20 million annually from streaming and airplay. In December 2022, Céline revealed a secret she'd kept for years. She suffers from stiff person syndrome, SPS, a rare autoimmune neurological disorder affecting 1 in a million, causing uncontrollable muscle spasms, rigidity, and impacting vocal cords and mobility. The announcement shocked fans. The diva, known for her powerful voice holding 10-second notes and energetic performances with jumps and dances, canceled her Courage World Tour, 52 dates postponed indefinitely, and her Las Vegas residency. In 2024, the Netflix documentary I Am, Céline Dion, directed by Irene Taylor, laid bare her vulnerability. Heart-wrenching footage shows Céline, once vibrant, struggling to hit a note, crying before her children during a 45-minute spasm episode that pins her to the floor, sometimes in a wheelchair. At 56, she relies on experimental treatments, gene therapies in Switzerland costing $500,000 per session, high-dose diazepam injections to control spasms, 5 hours of daily intensive physiotherapy, an around-the-clock medical team of neurologists, physios, and nurses, and costly drugs like IVIG at $100,000 monthly. Rumors swirl. Some speak of irreversible decline, others hope for a miraculous stage comeback like her 2002 return. But reality bites. The disease has halted her career, slashing the colossal income that fueled her empire, over $100 million annually at its peak. Céline's fortune, pegged at $800 million by Forbes in 2023 but exceeding $1.4 billion with hidden assets, rests on perpetual Sony catalog royalties, ASCAP/BMI publishing rights yielding $30 million yearly, luxury properties, the Henderson Villa with 13 bedrooms, Olympic pool, private golf, the Paris apartment with sane views, the 800-acre Quebec estate with a private lake, and diversified investments in Montreal commercial real estate, tech VC funds, and entertainment. René structured this empire meticulously, irrevocable trusts for René-Charles, Eddie, and Nelson, locked until ages 25 and 21 respectively, a cancer research charity, clauses blocking major asset sales until 2030. But illness shifts the game. Medical costs, estimated at $10-15 million yearly, private jets to Zurich, a 20-person staff paid $5 million in salaries, U.S. trials, erode reserves. Unable to perform, Céline dips into liquidity to sustain her lifestyle. Staff, assistants, doctors, lawyers, and clinical trials. Her children, René-Charles 24 in 2025, twins 15, depend on her while her extended family watches, sometimes with envy, sometimes resentment. Céline Dion's fortune is not just treasure, it's a burden weighing heavily on her family. René-Charles, the eldest, inherited his father's business acumen. At 24, he quietly manages family investments, stakes in tech startups like an AI music app valued at $50 million, Las Vegas properties including a boutique hotel. But his role as primary heir places him under immense pressure. Weakened, Céline names him potential executor, a move sparking whispers, why only him? The twins, Eddie and Nelson, adolescents, are shielded by trusts until adulthood, but youth spares them no tension. At a private bilingual Quebec school, they absorb adult disputes. Sensitive Eddie collects his mother's gold records. Athletic Nelson plays hockey to escape stress. An anonymous source told a 2024 tabloid, money divides more than it unites when health fails. René-Charles wants to protect the legacy, but the twins feel sidelined, like afterthoughts. René's 2015 will, notarized in Las Vegas, is explicit. 70% to Céline and the children via trusts, 20% to the René-Charles Foundation for Cancer Research, $50 million distributed since 2016, and 10% to charities like Hôpital Saint-Justine. Complex clauses, no asset sales, family approval for big expenses, aim to preserve the legacy. But Céline's illness complicates restrictions. To fund treatments, she negotiates waivers with Swiss trustees, a costly $500,000 yearly in legal fees, and emotionally draining process. René-Charles, involved via Zoom from Los Angeles where he pursues music, lands in the eye of family storms. Mom, we can't sacrifice everything for today, he argues in a dispute accidentally filmed for the documentary. The twins at the Quebec home hear echoes. Their rooms plastered with Titanic posters and concert mementos clash with adult whispers about the financial future. Céline's extended family, 13 siblings, adds layers of complexity. Claudette Dion, 19 years older, positions herself as guardian of family traditions, unofficial spokesperson in crises. In the 1980s and 1990s, Céline financially supported many, $800,000 to clear Michel's business debts, a Repentigny house for Liette, Mercedes cars for Jacques and Ghislaine, Europe trips for the Eurovision win. But as her career took her to Vegas and Paris, some felt abandoned, reduced to occasional calls. In 2023, scandal erupted when In Touch revealed brothers Michel and Paul suing in Montreal for unpaid royalties on songs inspired by their Charlemagne childhood, Les Chemins de ma maison evoking the family bar. The case was dismissed for lack of evidence, but it rekindled old grudges with headlines screaming millionaire little sister forgets her roots. Cla tearfully told Radio-Canada in 2023, we love Céline, but money changed everything. We cry for what we lost, unity, not wealth. We gathered every Sunday in Charlemagne, now it's Christmas texts. These tensions aren't new. Since the 1990s, Quebec whispers claimed Céline, the baby of the family, forgot her roots in Vegas, adopting an American accent and glamorous style. Siblings who contributed early, singing in the bar, helping demos, feel entitled to a share of her success, even symbolically. Michel, in a controversial Hello Canada tell-all in 2024, revealed, Céline paid family debts of hundreds of thousands in the 1990s. She saved us, but now we feel forgotten, like fired employees. Teary-eyed, he detailed a $50,000 car in 1995, an unpaid loan because it's family. These rare public revelations, often denied by the Dion camp with terse statements, fuel Quebec and international media speculation. Céline's fortune, earned through her talent and grind, 5,000 studio hours, 1,000 concerts, is it owed to her extended family, or a burden pushing them away? Psychologists in People explain that in large families like the Dions, one member's success creates survivor syndrome, others feel inferior, dependent, and wealth amplifies latent jealousies. Beyond the numbers, Céline's fortune hides secrets burdening her family. Before his death, René created a $100 million secret offshore fund in the Cayman Islands, fed by diverted Asian royalties to shield his children from celebrity excesses, taxes, scandals, squandering. Managed by anonymous Swiss lawyers, it guaranteed their future with capped $2 million annual payouts post-25. But Céline's illness turns this treasure into discord. In 2023, She considers tapping it for Arizona stem cell therapies, sparking heated virtual family meetings. Protective René-Charles opposes, "Mom, think of us first. If you drain it, what's left for the boys?" Too young to vote legally, the twins feel the strain. Eddie cries hearing shouts. Nelson locks himself in his room filled with mom's concert photos. Other secrets leak via TMZ anonymous tips. Persistent rumors claim Céline drafted a new 2022 will post-diagnosis with a Las Vegas notary, granting René-Charles more power, full trust control after her death, veto on family gifts, at the expense of siblings, whose $500,000 annual stipend since 2016 could be cut. Claudette, in a cryptic Journal de Montreal interview, hints she's been sidelined financially. They say united family, but the papers say otherwise. Though unconfirmed, Céline's lawyer denies any division. These fuel speculation. Weaken Céline, is she protecting her kids over siblings, or preserving fragile balance, knowing her illness could trigger legal challenges to trusts? Céline's children, raised in luxury, private jets, $50,000 per year schools, bodyguards, but scarred by their father's 2016 loss and mother's illness, are especially vulnerable. René-Charles, media exposed via his music, an RC Angelil rap EP in 2021 with 1 million streams, faces opportunistic friends and tabloids hungry for cursed air scoops. A 2024 stolen Miami club photo screams, prodigal son squanders, despite denials. The twins, teens, juggle school, memories of mom in her prime, they've seen Titanic 20 times, and rumors of her decline. A family insider told US Weekly, money cries because it separates. Céline wanted to unite with homes, gifts, but illness and fortune divide. The kids here trust, will, and it terrifies them. The medical front darkens too. By mid-2025, Céline's Swiss neurologist warns of progressive vocal cord atrophy, permanent silence possible within 5 years. Experimental vocal cord stem cell injections in Singapore cost $2 million each. Insurance denies coverage. Another trust waiver battle looms. René-Charles flies to Zurich, negotiating with bankers while fielding calls from Sony about a potential posthumous hologram tour, a $500 million offer. He rejects it outright. She's not dead yet. But the proposal leaks, sparking ethical debates. Exploitation or preservation? Global fans mobilize. A #SingForceLine campaign raises $3 million for SPS research, but it also floods the family with unsolicited advice. Miracle cures, faith healers, conspiracy theories about faked illness for sympathy. Security tightens. Paparazzi drone over the Nevada villa. Eddie, now 15, smashes a drone with a hockey stick. The incident goes viral. Dion air attacks press. In this storm, Céline clings to small rituals. Every Sunday, despite pain, she hosts virtual sing-alongs with her siblings via Zoom, old Quebec folk songs from Le Vieux Baril. Voices crack, connections flicker, but for 30 minutes, money fades. Claude leads un peu d'amour et d'amitié, tears flow, but they're cleansing. This, Céline whispers, is what René meant by legacy. But the fortune, this sleeping giant, remains a latent threat. If Céline passes, doctors cite 10 to 15 years with advanced SPS. The trusts, clauses, and lawyers may not prevent disputes. Legal challenges could arise. Extended family claiming moral rights to cultural legacy, or distant cousins emerging. Her children, empire heirs, might face media vultures, paparazzi, unauthorized bios, and family predators alone. René-Charles, pressured with his own ambitions, an album in the works, must balance protector role and the crushing weight of the Dion name. The twins, barely adults, risk isolation or squandering. Céline Dion, the invincible diva who survived poverty, criticism, grief, leaves not just billions but an emotional puzzle already making her family weep. Her voice united millions of fans. Could it soothe her own, or will the overwhelming fortune shatter bonds forged in music and love? A haunting question as the curtain threatens to fall, Céline gazing at Nevada sunsets in her villa, murmuring the power of love lyrics. What do you think of Céline Dion's legacy? A blessing for her family or a disguised curse? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more stories on legends who mark our hearts.